to Şengün. Rockets looking for the win. In on Draymond. Spin. Push. Bounce. No. Rebound. Butler. Rockets need a miracle. Şengün into Van Vliet. Van Vliet cross midcourt. Van Vliet got it. Oh, no. 3-1 series lead for the Golden State Warriors.
Well, that sucked. 109-106. The Houston Rockets are on the brink of elimination after another loss in the playoffs to the Golden State Warriors. This is the most interactive sports talk show in Houston on Tuesday, April 29th of 2025. If you need to vent, if you need to get something off your chest, we will be taking your calls, reading your texts, reading your comments on YouTube and Twitch all show long. No one's surprised by this, ultimately. I think when you took a look at the Rockets going into these playoffs as a 2 seed with what they had been able to do defensively this year, you might have had some optimism, but ultimately we are seeing exactly what they are. And it's these 2 words, not ready. I'm not adding a third word in there. I'm not adding yet. And I don't want to hear anyone talking about how they're not ready yet. You never know when you're going to be ready. But in a Western Conference playoffs this year, which does seem to be wide open, if you're at least skeptical about the Oklahoma City Thunder, what the Rockets are doing to themselves in this series is the reason that they are down 3-1. The game begins. Could it have started worse? Golden State goes on a 13-0 run in the first 4 minutes. The Rockets turned the ball over 4 times. I mean, I wasn't sure that they were ever going to show up just based off of those first 4 minutes. To their credit, they sacked up. They played a phenomenal rest of the first quarter. And at halftime, they had the lead. So there is some scrap. There is some fight. And then the second half opens. And they gave up an 18-1 run to open the second. I understand that basketball is a game of runs. But when that happens at the beginning of a game, and when that happens at the beginning of the second half, that is a reflection of a team that is not ready. The free throws. Oh, my God. So last night, the Rockets were 19 for 31. In this series, the team that is the worst free throw shooting team in the league has shot over 4 games, a mind-blowing 60 for 95. I am not expecting a 3-1 comeback by the Rockets. You shouldn't be either. But whether the Rockets come back or not, next year, I want this entire team coming back shooting granny free throws. You are not too good for that when you're missing 35 free throws in a series. I mean, you want to do the math? Here's all you need to know. Those 35 points, it's more than the margin of defeat that the Rockets have suffered in the 3 games that they have lost this series. Perhaps a Freudian slip there. 10 plus 11 plus 3 is less than 35. They're not ready. And there were some splashes last night that do have you a little excited for the future. No, I thought Amen Thompson looked really good last night. I thought he showed some finish at the rim that he hadn't been able to do the first couple of games. I thought in spots, Alperen Şengün played pretty well. But those spots came with an asterisk. We'll get to that in a moment. Steven Adams, what a signing, what a trade he's been. Unfortunately, he couldn't play the entirety of the fourth quarter because the Warriors smartly started doing hack Adams. Dylan Brooks made big shots when he needed to. Jabari Smith didn't play enough, but when he was in, you felt his presence. And more than anyone, a guy who we have been dumping on all series, Fred VanVleet played one of the best games we've ever seen from him in the playoffs. And this is a guy who has won a finals with the Toronto Raptors. He hit 8 threes. He was lights out. I honestly thought that last shot that VanVleet took at the end of the game was going in. It was an air ball. So that sucks. But for a second, I wondered, wait, did it go in? And then I saw the replay. I saw it was short. Wasn't a bad look, all things considered. All of those guys had their moments. All of those guys looked like players who can contribute enough as part of a team that could potentially do some damage in the playoffs someday. But then we go back to the guy who opened his big fat yap after a bad performance in game 3, at least as far as having an impact on the game. Jalen Green says that Draymond Green, all he does is yap. Well, in the close of a game where Draymond Green's defense probably was the difference for the Golden State Warriors, especially on that play where Alperen Şengün takes a not-so-great shot with about 4 seconds left, where was Jalen Green to be found? Oh, that's right. He wasn't playing. Jalen Green, his statistics in the fourth quarter, and I get it. He's 22. He's 23. Nothing. Like, not anything. He didn't do a damn thing at the end of this game. So when a guy like that isn't ready, and your free throws aren't falling, and you are asleep at the wheel to open up the game, and asleep at the wheel to open up the second half, you're just not ready. We're not surprised by this, but it sucks to find it out this way. In a game where the Rockets could have won yet again, in a series where, I mean, you really want to play spin zone. What if? Is this series over? Make some free throws, baby. Jalen Green in the fourth quarter. He played 7 minutes. Did you even see him out there? Let's just go through all the numbers. How many points? 0. How many rebounds? 0. How many assists? 0. How many blocks? 0. How many steals? 0. He did have a foul. But, I mean, that's the guy with the most upside on this team, right? Or at least that's what a lot of folks say. Maybe it's Şengün. Maybe it's Amen Thompson. I don't know. I thought we all had to apologize to Jalen Green after his Game 2 38-point performance, but he crashes back to earth as this Rockets team shoots itself in the foot at the beginning, at the end, at the beginning of the second half, at the beginning, down the stretch as well, and at the free throw line. They're not ready. It sucks to find it out this way, but I think we already knew this. We were just a little bit optimistic. We were riding high on this fact that Houston, Texas is a basketball town. Is it still a basketball town? I don't know. We might be on to baseball. Down 3-1. I'm operating as if this series is over. If you want to weigh in on last night's loss, 713-780-3776 to call, to text, on YouTube at ESPN Houston, on Twitch at ESPN 975. Let's read some of your comments here on the HRNP listener line. From the 281, Houston is a college basketball town now. Yeah, but we got to wait a while for college basketball. So I think that's super on the back burner. It's a draft coverage town, baseball town. From the 832, after I saw the 2 bad Jalen Green turnovers, I turned it off and went to bed. Was tired and not pumped. Woke up this morning and wasn't surprised. You did miss a good game. There was some scrappiness in the second quarter. It was actually a good basketball game. But the entirety, once Golden State took the lead with about 4 minutes to go or so on that Buddy Hield 3, I never felt great. I never felt like they were going to take it back. I felt like I was hoping more than expecting. From the 281, the 2 words are actually free throw, not ready. If they could make some effing free throws, they'd be up. Yes. From the 409, free throws. That's it. From the 614, you are correct. Basketball is a game of runs. It usually doesn't mean something going down your leg. Dang. Was it P? Was it messy too? That's up to you. From the 832, Houston is a high school basketball town. Well, Jalen Green at times looked like that. From the 346, it's not easy for Jalen Green to raise a stepson his age and then a baby on the way. Try to understand him. This is the Kevin Porter Jr. logic of the holiday season. It's the holiday season and boop-de-doop, scooby-dee-dop. I'm Kevin Porter Jr. and I'm not going to try that hard. I mean, that's in the past. That's the Steven Silas era, you know? So this Rockets team, not ready. Series likely done.
Yeah, a little bit upset, of course. It feels like the games we've lost, we really hurt ourselves in a lot of ways. You know, you get a late foul on a three. Obviously, that stands out, but it's not just a play late in the game. It's all the things that add up to it. First half, fouling guys in the bonus and those things all. It's hard to outplay those mistakes, the amount that we're making. And so, let alone the third quarter when we come out, undisciplined like that. And so, guys are down, but they understand that the game we played well. The one game out of the four, we had a blowout win. In other games, it's been a one-possession game a lot of times, or we had a fourth quarter lead and haven't really played that well. So consistency wins in the series. We've talked about that from day one, and we have to be way more consistent across the board. And so the plan is to obviously go home, get one, and come back.
But who do you expect to be consistent? Fred VanVleet getting 8 threes. That happening again? From the text line, worst thing is how inconsistent Jalen Green is, as we talk about the things that were the worst from last night. You heard about some of the other little things with Dylan Brooks fouling Jimmy Butler on that late three, a foul that Tari Eason had of Jimmy Butler late in the third quarter that led to Butler going straight to the line for a couple more free throws, the throw over his head, the start to the game, the start to the second half, the missed free throws. They're not ready. And it's a shame because the talent's there, but they're not ready. What was the worst thing that happened in last night's game? Sean Mapes, I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I didn't even have to do it because the text line's done it. I'm tired of Sean, writes a texter from the 832. First, making fun of Tariq Skubal against the Astros. I feel like that was me.
I think we all got into it.
Yeah, because we were like, who the hell is this guy? Because, of course, we just are what we are, which is the biggest idiots when it comes to baseball. We don't pay attention to baseball outside of Houston.
Yeah, an 85-win Tigers team isn't going to get on our radar.
Ooh, look at me. I'm Tariq Skubal. I'm going to keep on doing it.
Hey, he's not pitching this series, so we're good.
Yeah, he didn't pitch last night. He's not pitching in this series. This texter continues. Now pods against the Rockets. For those who don't know, yesterday, Sean Mapes decided to start calling Brandon Podzinski pods. I actually don't think that Sean had much slander towards him. I felt like it was deferential calling him pods. I refuse to acknowledge it, though, because I'm sorry. Every single time I see his face, I just can't believe he's a real human. It's the fro / squiggly beard.
Yeah, a little dude from Narnia. That's what he's got.
Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
Or, as I've described it, he looks like he's cosplaying as Dylan Raiola, cosplaying as Patrick Mahomes. You know, it's a couple of degrees of separation, and we're really getting to knock off Brandon.
He's like the Xerox of the Xerox of the Xerox.
Correct. And yet, there he was last night with 6 threes, scoring 26 points, making all sorts of little plays happen along the way, too. He took a charge. That was the worst part, in my opinion. That guy being the one that does you in. Steph Curry plays poorly. Jimmy Butler took a while to get going. Draymond Green had foul trouble, in addition to getting a technical and a flagrant foul, which apparently doesn't get you ejected. There were a lot of things that added up, but to get taken out by Brandon Podzinski, that sucks.
It does.
You tip your hat to him. He played out of his mind. It was a great game. Like, he was awesome. But damn it.
Like we were saying during the break, I'll say Brandon Podzinski. I won't call him Pods. Although today I should call him Pods.
I still can't pronounce his name right. And Shaq, even last night, couldn't pronounce his name.
That's why you call him Pods.
Yep.
That's why people called Jokic the Joker for 5 extra years. I think that you do have to kind of tip your cap to it, and we were talking about it during the break, where because it's pods, it's like extra. It hurts extra as opposed to last game when Buddy Hield was going off, because you're like, oh, it's Buddy Hield. We all know Buddy Hield, Oklahoma. He was awesome.
Right.
This
He's good in
guy is just
college.
like, who is this guy?
Yeah, who is he? And why is he so good? And why does he look weird on top of being good? And listen, sorry, you can't control the way that you look. I'm not trying to be personal. I'm just saying the way that Brandon Pajimski looks, it pisses you off. I don't know what it is about him, but he has a very, it's not quite token Duke white player hateable,
Yeah.
but there's something about it. You're like, why is this guy beating me at basketball?
I don't like it.
F him.
Yeah, no, I mean, you did just kind of get beaten by pods. Like it's tough because, like you said, they did a good job against Curry. Curry didn't really break through or have like some like giant run that he personal run that he went on.
No, he was turning the ball over left and right. In fact, I thought his handling was awful last night.
Yeah, he was a little loose with it. And Jimmy, like you said, didn't really get going until he started getting to the line late. And then, yeah, it was Brandon Pajimski, just 26 or however, 28. How many did he have? He had a lot.
He had too many. In my opinion, over 14, too many from him.
Yeah, 14 is like the good pod zone.
I mean, clearly it's Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Green is the worst from last night. Green opened his mouth talking about Draymond Green. Draymond Green was lights out down the stretch. I mean, hate on Draymond Green not scoring all you want, and hate on all the BS that Draymond Green pulls, of which there was a lot last night. I mean, just the sequence with Tari Eason. I mean, he took him out, dragged him to the court as he was going for the loose ball. His legs, which apparently he has no control of, landed on Tari Eason's head. Then as Tari Eason is getting up and getting over Draymond almost kicks him, bunny kicks him like he's my cat. And on top of that, pulls Tari towards him and then tries to pull Tari's leg from underneath him. This is all in 5 seconds. I'm honestly impressed. How does he do that many things in just, 5 seconds?
Yeah. Go from dribbling the ball to committing 3 different acts that should get you at least a technical.
Yeah, right.
It didn't get him a technical.
It
was a flagrant. That was the flagrant foul. That happened after the actual foul, which is normally where they call technicals.
That should have been a technical. I don't know how he got that technical early. The refs lost control of this game. So that's another one. Worst part of last night, the referees and how they handled literally everything.
The second quarter.
Oh my God. What a terrible quarter of basketball watching. I really think that they should just let them keep playing. The replay just adds to this happening again as soon as they get back playing.
Yeah, that's what that's what happened.
Yeah. There's a lot of chippiness,
And there's the Dylan Jimmy moment.
Right, where Dylan and Jimmy are underneath the free throw line, where at some point Jimmy Butler says, you are a weak-ass bitch.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen Dylan Brooks laugh. Dylan Brooks laughed at. Seemed like it was an actual laugh.
It was like a belly laugh, too.
Moments later, Jimmy, for a second, puts his hands on Dylan Brooks' neck. It definitely happened. Go watch it.
Yeah, no, he did. It's one of those things where he 100% did that on purpose. But
he was so quick.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he actually strangled him. It was more he just did it. Draymond or Dylan. God, I confused Draymond and Dylan now.
Hands up.
Yeah. Dylan was like, what the hell? And then a little bit later, Dylan gets the steal.
Yeah.
Butler fouled him hard. That did not need to be replayed.
Yeah.
That whole...
It wasn't replayed.
But it felt like it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, because you could see the hard foul coming from a
mile
the
away.
Second Dylan Brooks got the ball. You're like, Jimmy Butler is gonna try to F him up here.
Yeah, I mean, playing intramural basketball, I would have done it too. So
yeah, no, everyone who's ever played intramural basketball, hey, that guy you don't like is about to...
He just stealed and scored you. I'm going to try to take him out. But it wasn't a bad foul. That whole sequence, the refs, with all the replays and still having no control over the entirety of the situation, they were pretty damn bad. Jalen Green was bad. Tari Eason's mom crashing out on X last night was pretty bad. Hey, Teroy, you're fun. I think that's how I pronounce her name. But to say this about Tari Eason, who did not play particularly well last night, he'd not only start on the Warriors, but he'd be their second best player. You got to calm down, okay? I get it. We're all upset. Everyone's mad at the Warriors because of all the shenanigans that they do, that they get away with, blah, blah, blah. Tari's not the second best player on the Warriors. Stop. They have Steph Curry. They have Jimmy Butler. And honestly, you could argue that Brandon Podziemski is a better player than Tari Eason based off of this series, even if their athleticism does not add up.
Yeah. Draymond, too. Better.
Draymond as well. Draymond was really good defensively.
Draymond was the only guy who could stop Şengün.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only guy who, and he did it in the biggest moment, but he was the only guy that really, like, Şengün, when Şengün got the ball, he wasn't immediately, how am I going to take this guy to the rim?
Şengün 2 of 11 against Draymond.
Yeah. Wow. The 2 is the surprising part.
Yeah.
Watching that game, I was like, got 2.
The Rockets were 3 for 16 against Draymond with him as the primary defender. I mean, he was great.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Is he defensive player of the year? I don't know. Is he all hustle player? I guess that's an award. But
yeah, he hustled.
He did hustle
to get his legs on Tari Eason's head. Yeah, I think that Draymond Green was he definitely was the best Warrior of last night, which is funny because he probably scored like 5 points.
A lot of text to dive into. It's the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. Dylan the Villain Brooks dumb foul cost the Rockets the win. You got punked by Draymond again. Get off my squad. Dylan actually had some clutch buckets in this game. I'm not dumping on Dylan for this one.
Yeah, if you want him off the squad, like, who do you want on the squad?
Exactly.
Because Dylan Brooks was one of the best players.
No, like Dylan, you want
this series.
Another text. Rockets finding new ways to choke away wins against Golden State. Should be up 3-1 instead of down. If they can make free throws, yep. At least they're not getting smacked around, writes another texter, like the Heat against the Cavs. Yes, but the Heat don't belong here, and the Rockets are the 2 seed. Like I'm not going to do the at least, and I'm not saying they're not ready yet either. You know,
like, I saw as I was just tuning in for the start of this game, and I was like, oh my god, I knew it was a blowout, but it was like close to 60 when I tuned in, and I thought, like, this is not a good sign for I don't know why. Can't explain why. Not a good sign for the Rockets. I wanted a more competitive game as the lead-in, and then when the Rockets get off to the start that they get off to,
yeah,
and Jalen Green's dribbling the ball off his foot, I'm just like, oh my god, this the Rockets going to lose by 40.
The way Jalen started the game in particular,
not ready,
and then because not ready there, I felt like he was scared.
Lights are too bright.
Which he has admitted to already in this series. Texter Bo says the moment looks too big for him. On Twitch, Mr. Brostash, Jalen seems scared of the moment. Tony the Handsome, Golden State doesn't fear the Rockets. That's the difference. Free throws, Rockets can't make any. From YouTube, worst parts of last night's Rockets game, Reggie Miller defending the Warriors all night. Reggie Miller was a bit annoying on the replay of Draymond versus Tari Eason. And there also was a moment where Draymond stopped Alperen Şengün, and as Draymond was going up the court and high-fiving fans, Reggie Miller looked like he was about to jump over the booth and tackle Draymond Green and make out with him. Like, go watch it. If you watch that moment, you will see Reggie Miller is standing up, like I think trying to high-five Draymond as he went down there. Listen, pests love pests. There were a few players that were as big a-holes as Reggie Miller, maybe less of the shady stuff that Draymond did, but back in the day, Reggie Miller, if we're talking about players that got under people's skin, oh God.
Michael Jordan two-hand choked him.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to murder him.
Right.
That's how upset he made Michael Jordan.
Oh, man, right. It's such a shame. Kevin Harlan is so good on TNT, and Reggie, I don't think anyone likes Reggie as a color commentator.
And it's been a minute since my favorite team has been in the playoffs, and Reggie Miller is so annoying, like on a game that you don't care about. Never mind a game where
your favorite team's playing.
Yeah, your heartbeat, your heart rate's like over 120 the entire time, and he's going, hey, now slow motion replay of Draymond Green kicking Tari Eason 3 different times, being like, I don't want to be unfair. We can't be unfair to Draymond here, where it's like, that's all he does.
Especially with the legs. It's always his legs. Yeah. His legs are all, I mean, does he have some sort of cerebral palsy? Like, serious question, where his legs, he has no control over them, where he's like a baby. I'm just a 1-year-old baby. Ooh, goo, goo, gaga. My legs, I have no control over the spastic movements they make.
It's funny because, like,
It's like a deer out of the womb.
It honestly, like, it shows how much dexterity he has because he always can get his legs into a position near a body part of a defender.
He'd be great at jiu-jitsu.
I do think he'd be good at some
Maybe that's
sort of
next.
mixed martial arts.
You know what? If Draymond fought a Paul brother in MMA, who would you want to win? I think I'd want Draymond. I think I'd want Draymond to win.
I think so.
But it's tough. It's really
No
tough.
good option.